The only way through is through love. You know, for some reason, I am experiencing a state of consciousness where a lot of shit is just hitting me all at once. You know? And rather than going into specific details of my life, I want to just brush over the themes, with large strokes. Because no matter what's going on in your life, the only thing that's going to solve it is you intentionally stepping into the driver's seat. No amount of empathy or whatever is in the end really going to make the difference. Yes, therapy and EMDR and psychedelic therapy or whatever to actually get your brain desensitized to the point where certain things are not a trigger, that stuff is super important. But in general, when you no matter what it is, right? There comes a point where you have to just intentionally accept the truth of what is. And on top of that, to choose to love what is, to choose to appreciate what is. If you're struggling to find your place in reality, if you're losing your mind, and you're maybe awakening to some things that are quite emotionally difficult to handle. Or, reality is getting a little too real and survival is getting more and more scary to handle for you. And you fear that you are just headed towards a place of hell. I'm here to remind you that we must look for a way in rather than a way out. We need to look for a way into hell. If we are going to enter hell, hypothetically, then you must prepare yourself so you're ready, so you have the strength. It may never happen. You may never have a part of your life turn into an absolute hell. But it may just as well come true. And what I'm here to suggest to you is to look for a way that you can actually live in that scenario where you are fully alive, fully into it, fully accepting the truth of where you might be headed. Even if it's, if you have a path towards success and maybe a path towards enlightenment, the Holy Grail comes at a cost. Sometimes we never even choose to go on certain paths. Maybe this path we find ourselves on comes from a bunch of unconscious choices that don't even feel like ours. But you're here now. Wherever the fuck you are, you're here now. Whatever level of upper hand, however much or however little footholds you got, this is where you are. And accept that. Lean into that. Because the more that you procrastinate on accepting this simple truth of position you're into reality, the more you're gonna waste time on making the critical decision to really own your life, to really own what is here, who you are, and to own what's happening and to choose to love it. A lot of times we lack so much meaning in our lives precisely because we just don't choose to own anything. If you really want some serious meaning in your life, you have to own a part of reality, if not all of it. Own your entire reality, your personal dream. You may not even know how to solve this puzzle that is your life yet. Own that. Own that you don't have all the answers right now. Own that. Admit that you don't know. And maybe admit that you're feeling some fear. You have some anxieties. Own that. It is only when we can start to face the truth of what we are experiencing and what we're feeling can we really create a solid foothold to make the next step. And that foothold can only be stepped on if you choose to snap out of whatever victim stance, whatever, pissed off state of mind or worried state of mind or scared state of mind. You have to choose to snap out of it because you want to be in a different state of consciousness. If you currently don't like the state of consciousness that you are in right now, why are you continuing to allowing certain thought patterns coming into your mind? Why are you allowing it? If the way your personality is arranged works in a specific way and you're not working with it and you're not surrendering to it and you're constantly hitting a wall again and again, why aren't you leaning into that truth? Why aren't you leaning into the truth of what you need? Some of us need a radically different way of living. Some of us need to put ourselves in challenging environments. Some of us need to completely schedule our days, or some of us need to execute their life with the utmost seriousness. A little bit about me, I'm realizing that I cannot be like 90% serious about something or 99% serious about something. It's either 100% or none. I'm either all in or not. And this comes from, this relates to a piece of wisdom I once heard, which was 99% is a bitch, 100% is a breeze. And this is a saying around commitment. How committed are you to yourself, to really leaning into what the fuck is going on, not shying away from the truth, having those difficult conversations, facing those difficult truths, putting yourself through the actions that you need to get yourself to where you need to go. And surrendering to that, surrendering to boredom, surrendering to actually participating in reality. So much of us don't want to participate. Have you noticed this? Think about how many times your mind just wants to check out, go on autopilot, automate, rather than think. Because thinking creates cortisol. Thinking is stressful. Participating in reality, putting life into reality, is suffering. And so the only way that you are going to want to suffer, want to live, is leaning into that truth, loving that part of reality. You have to love the pain of loving yourself. That's the only way. You have to love the pain of not knowing what to do next. You have to love the pain of not wanting to take that next step. You have to love the pain of training yourself. Love the pain of letting go of those vices. Love the pain of not having that clarity for yourself yet. This is the journey. And of course, as you'll go through the journey, you'll pick up principles. You'll find values that you'll hold true to yourself. These high consciousness values. But you have to choose to uphold them, and choose to uphold what feels right, even if it hurts. Because other than that, then what are you living for? Your life is already an idea. For those that are onto awakening, a path of awakening, you'll know this more than anyone else. Your life is already an idea. So what ideas do you want to uphold? What kind of idea of a character do you want to become? What kind of expression do you really want to be in reality? What kind of story are you going to turn this one into? Own your story right now. Own your life. Own stepping into the driver's seat at this point. Maybe it's not working out right now. That is exactly your level up. Do you get this? If you're depressed right now, if you're feeling suicidal, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling lack of motivation, that is your challenge. If you just want to check out and numb yourself, that state of consciousness is a reflection of us not really loving what is. We have to choose to love and appreciate. Yeah, maybe we're not getting the support we need. Simple as that. What are we going to do about it? How are we going to survive? What radical action do I have to take out of love for myself, out of this self-love? What do I have to let go of? You know, in some sense, a lot of self-actualization is letting go of your life completely. Letting go of doing so many things that you think you want and doing things that you need. Because these things that you need is aligned with who you were meant to become here. How much will our life be abundant if we just did what we knew was right? Even though it doesn't even feel like we should, there's something to be learned in this, in taking action, in making a decision. Because even if it's the wrong decision, it's better than indecision. Rather than not deciding to participate in your life and just let life completely run a train on you and suffering that indecision, make a decision to participate. Choose to love the challenge of what's going on. Choose to be your own best cheerleader. This is what's required. It's not going to come from anyone else at the end of the day. Really, the love that you're looking for in your life is coming from yourself. No amount of nurturing from others is going to satisfy you. You eventually have to choose to nurture yourself and lean into that. And accept where you are. Don't demonize yourself. Forgive yourself. Love yourself. This is the rock solid foundation that you must set in yourself to build a beautiful life. It's moments like these where you're not sure why to keep going? Do you really derive the core of what the hell am I doing here in the first place? Why do I choose to keep going? Sometimes it can just be out of a simple curiosity to see where it can go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.